I want to jump back to the No Kings protest because
Yeah.
protesting is the only way that we can,
Yeah.
let the president know, hey, the shit that you're doing
Yeah.
is not what we want. Have you been following the protests in Portland and watching them
Oh,
come
the
up with the
frogs! Oh, the
inflatable
frogs!
suits?
Yeah, that's going to be like a big Halloween costume. I'm hearing this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That might be. I might have to do a little frog costume.
I'm hearing the frog is going to be a big Halloween costume this year.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of inflatables over there.
Yeah, it is just nuts, right? And that's the thing. I don't even know if people can believe him anymore or what they're seeing. Or I don't even know what videos they're showing over there to kind of counter or like, and I'm talking about the Trump administration, right? To kind of say, they were showing videos from like 5 years ago. Like I think that happened during the George Floyd protests that were going on after that. But why he decided to go into Portland or whatever do that is beyond me. But, you got senior citizens playing ukuleles. You got everything going on peaceful. I guess they were going to do some naked bike ride or something like that.
Do it. Yeah,
like
I was going to have the video, but
protest.
we cannot show that video on YouTube.
Yeah. But, I mean, all these different things that they're kind of doing, right?
Yeah.
It's just, look, we need to have the No Kings protest. They need to be peaceful because I worry. There's always a worry, right, with this administration that if something happens, if there's some type of confrontation, that somehow he's going to use that as a reason to kind of send more troops out.
Even if there's not some confrontation, he's always going to use it because, like you're saying, in the situation in Portland, they're in inflatable costumes. Do you see they pepper sprayed the air? Like, what are you doing? You're a grown man.
Yeah.
Pepper spraying a frog in an inflatable costume.
I don't know. It just, you're right. He can do it anyway, right? And Portland's an example of something that he can do. There was nothing going on in Chicago that he'd kind of do the same thing too.
Yeah.
But it just would give him more of a reason to kind of say, this is why I need to do this. This is why I need to, the Insurrection Act. This is why I need to declare martial law, right?
Yeah.
Because, it's, and you're already hearing it from Speaker Johnson and other people that, this is Antifa. Antifa's doing the No Kings. It's all the radical left that's kind of the ones that are going out there and doing this, and it's the travesty, and it's disrespectful to all our law enforcement out there that people are going to be doing this.
It's so ridiculous. I have the clip of Mike Johnson saying this because that's what I was going to bring up. It's like they're already priming themselves to do that. They're already priming themselves to make this excuse that it's violent.
I encourage you to watch. We call it the Hate America rally that'll happen Saturday. Let's see who shows up for that. I bet you see pro-Hamas supporters. I bet you see Antifa types. I bet you see the Marxists in full display, the people who don't want to stand and defend the foundational truths of this republic. And we do. And that's what we're here doing every single day. And we'll continue to come in every morning and tell the American people the plain and simple facts. Because the facts are going to win the day here. The American people are not stupid.
Yeah. He does the thing that Pete Hegseth does, and he does the thing that Stephen Miller does, where you can hear them lying to themselves and trying to convince themselves that that's what's happening. Even the way that he said, I bet you see the anti, it got a little bit more Southern twang behind it. And it sounds like he's trying to paint this narrative for himself more so than for anyone else.
Yeah. And Stephen Miller, I actually does believe all that shit. But but you're right. I think, him, he's probably trying to convince himself as he says this is what's actually going to happen, right? Because, I mean, look, I think he kind of knows how close he was, at the end of the last term, how close he was to kind of maybe not being speaker again. And he had to get Donald Trump on his side, kind of especially because he actually did work in a bipartisan manner to come up with a plan to keep the government going. As the 2024 was ending, but then you had Elon Musk and you had Donald Trump and you had some of the far right Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene speaking up about how why are we making a deal with Democrats? We should never ever make a deal with Democrats. Well, you know what? That's how politics works, right? That's how we get things done. You have to make deals and negotiate.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Because look what happened. Look what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Government shut down for 15 days now, no end in sight. And, thousands of people are having to work without pay, and other thousands are just have been laid off or furloughed right now. And then, now they're even doing the unprecedented thing of just letting people go, right? Which is not even legal.
Time for a quick message from our sponsors. This episode of Who Dem is brought to you by Elect Dems Now. We all know that podcasts are the future. They give us the chance to connect with our elected officials like never before. That's why Elect Dems Now is committed to helping voters engage with the people who represent us. Supporting organizations that bring us closer to our elected officials is crucial to advancing and advocating for the change we want to see. Whether it's $5 or $50, every donation to Elect Dems Now helps shape our future and ensures a country we can all be proud of. Your support sends a clear message to candidates and elected officials. Connecting with you means connecting with America. To contribute and make a difference, visit electdemsnow.org today. Your donation helps build a world where we are all connected. Paid for by Elect Dems Now, electdemsnow.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
The people are raising their voice, right? And this is part of their ability to kind of do that. It's one of the things, peaceful assembly, that's guaranteed by the First Amendment. And I'm happy to see that people are getting to get out there and they're going to express their point of view, right? That we are not a dictatorship. We are not a monarchy. We have a constitution. It is the oldest constitutional government in the world. And it survived because it works. And you know, but it takes all three parts of the government, right? All three parts of the federal government to kind of work together to kind of make that happen. And unfortunately, the legislative branch has kind of been, because of the Republican majority, has been kind of silent and non-existent. We should come up with some kind of rally to, like, I don't know how to light the fire under the Republicans' ass.
Yeah. Well, that's a discharge petition. That get them going.
I mean, to get them to kind of like speak up, right?
Yeah.
Because again, if this was a Democrat, if this, like Barack Obama, said, can you imagine if he was doing everything that Trump is doing right now?
Yeah.
They would be losing their shit.
Yeah.
They would be crazy.
Yeah, they would be losing their minds.
But because it's Trump, it's like, okay, we'll just kind of look the other way. Not going to say anything. Yeah.
No, and it's not just like from the outside, like Democrats and obviously Democrats on the inside looking in and going, well, Congress has basically just been pushed to one side by this Trump administration. Yeah. The Trump administration, I think it was Stephen Miller and there was someone else earlier today came out and reporting that they were saying that basically the Congress right now, they view it as the Russian, I can't remember the name.
Whatever the Russian, the
equivalent
name is
of,
right,
it starts with a
Congress,
D.
right.
Yeah.
Which is, that should be embarrassing for the Republicans, right? That's what they're making this, right? We are an equal branch of government, with the executive and the judiciary, right? The Supreme Court. And we need to kind of hold our own, and they're not doing that. And they're just basically, the Republicans in Congress have become a rubber stamp for whatever the president wants to do and are not speaking up whenever he does wrong.
Yeah, because that's the thing about our Constitution. It's a document that was written incredibly well. It's an incredibly intelligent document. It had an insane amount of foresight in terms of understanding how this country was going to come together and how to navigate future issues. But it also requires integrity. It requires upholding those norms. It requires pursuing the American project and uplifting it. And if you have one generation, if you have one Congress that pushes that to the side and says, you know what, we're not gonna do that, and we're gonna allow the president of the United States to do whatever. It becomes a fragile document, and we're seeing that document be pushed to its limits right now.
It is, and sometimes you got to worry about, like, how long is it going to last, right?
Yeah.
But it is, I think kind of going back to the Marjorie Taylor Greene video you said, right? It's. I don't know what her reasons are, but my reasons why is Congress isn't doing its job as part of that is because Republicans are just not, they've become a rubber stamp for Trump, and they're not holding up their part to be a legitimate, equal branch of government. We don't work for him. He's not our boss. We work for our constituents, the American people. That's who are we beholden to, not to him.